Hello, my dear students. Welcome you all to the fifth semester. In this semester, we have to study a paper titled Language and Linguistics. Two terms, both are familiar to you. What is a language? A language means it is a medium for communication. We all know multiple languages. For example, we all are Keralites and our mother tongue is Malayalam. At the same time, we know English, Hindi, Tamil, and some of you might have know some other languages too. So the basic purpose of communication is language. When you come across this paper titled Language and Linguistics, where you have to study the different features of language. How English language, you know that English it is an international language. How English language is different from other languages. So there you have to compare and contrast the language of English with other languages, where you will get familiarized with the different features or aspects of language. And also, you have to study the different theoretical aspects of English language. So, in this paper, Language and Linguistics, we are focusing on the language, the international language, English. You all are literature students, English literature students. You all have already studied the history of English literature. And also, you have studied how English language has evolved through ages. Now, we are going to discuss in the 20th and 21st century how this language is developed as a branch known as linguistics. Linguistics means study of language. So here we are going to discuss, we are going to study English language. Okay. So, in under this paper, language and linguistics, you have to polish the phonetic sounds you have studied or you got familiarized in the first semester. In the paper titled Language Skills, you have studied those 44 sounds. Hope you all remember that sounds. And if you don't remember that sounds, don't worry. I will explain it further. I will make you understand those sounds once again. But this time, you have to approach these phonetic sounds in a different manner, as not as a general student, as an English literature student, as a linguistics student. Okay, so you will there. So in the second, third, and fourth chapter, based upon these phonetic sounds and its pronunciation and regarding syllable and all, you have to study a lot of concepts. So what I have to say is you have to understand those concepts when you are studying maths, you have first of all you have to understand the concept, then only you can solve that question. Similarly here also you have to understand the basic concepts. Okay, you might be confused with certain terms, but that confusion will be rectified if you understand the concept what I'm saying. Okay, so this is what I have to tell you in advance. So in this session, I would like to make you understand the significance of the phonetic sounds in our day-to-day life. It's just an introductory session and where you have to do an activity along with me. So are you all ready for the activity? Are you ready? If so, let's begin. So I will share the screen with you. Okay, language and linguistics. This is the title of the paper. Today's agenda. Okay, it's not a meeting, but today's agenda is what is the significance of phonetics in day-to-day life? And how studying phonetics will help you to improve your language skills. Okay, sorry. So these are the two agendas that we are discussing today. The significance of phonetics in day-to-day life. Then how this learning phonetic sounds will help us to improve our language skills, especially our speaking skills. So the expectation and outcomes of this paper. First of all, a systematic, conscious consideration of how speech sounds are made and what they sound like, how they compare with each other. You all know that there are 44 sounds and how these 44 sounds are made. In English language, there are only 26 alphabets, but we have 44 sounds. So why it is so? So this is an expectation, this is an aim of this paper. So the major objectives of this paper is given here. So you have to have a fundamental understanding of basic nature, branches and history of linguistic inquiry. The logical analysis and analyzing the data from a wide variety of language and dialects. The term dialects is not familiar to you now, but that will be explained later. Then we have to distinguish, evaluate, and interpret the methodologies. You have to understand the nature of language. So it is an interdisciplinary perspective. So this is the broad objective broad objectives of this paper, language and linguistics. So there's a brief introduction I would like to give you. So every human knows at least one language, either spoken or signed. For example, in my case, I know Malayalam and Tamil. I know how to speak Tamil. I'm not fluent in Tamil, but somehow I can manage Tamil. But at the same time, I don't know how to write it. But at the same time, Malayalam is my mother tongue and I know how to speak and how to write it. So every human knows at least one language. Verbally, maybe we know both the written and spoken format. Sometimes we know only the spoken format. So it doesn't matter. We all know at least one language. Even if a person who is deaf and dumb, that person also know a language. It's a sign language. Okay, so that is also a language. But here we are dealing with not the sign languages. We are dealing with the languages which have both written and spoken format. Okay, the linguistics means it is a study of language, it is a science of language where you have to deal with the sounds. The sounds means that 44 sounds. So when you are studying this paper, language and linguistics, wherever you read that word sound, the sound means here, the sound means what? It is the 44 phonetic sounds. Then you have to deal with the words or sentences and the grammar rules. We can form infinite number of words and sentences using these words. So it is the creative aspect of human language. So see the creative aspect of human language and apart from animal language. So one of the topics that we have to discuss in this paper is the difference between human and animal language that we will discuss later. Okay, then concept and definition. So when you study this paper, you will come come across these terms: phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, lexicon, etc. This entire paragraph is it brief the syllabus. I'm not reading it, but you have to be dealt with these concepts in the upcoming lectures. Okay, this is the brief introduction of this paper. So, shall we start with an activity? And are you all ready for that? Okay. So for that activity, so it's let's try and let's learn. So it's activity time. So let's follow the instructions. So first of all of you, please take a sheet of paper and write down the words I dictate. Okay, are you all ready for that? You can write down the words I dictate. You might be thinking, are you all studying in the first standard and doing a dictation? Okay, doesn't matter. You all are kids. We all are kids. Okay, anyway, try to write a few words which I dictate. The first word is tail. The first word is tail. Please write it. I know you all are watching a pre-recorded lecture, but it doesn't matter. If you want to enjoy this session, please take a piece of paper and write it. Tail. Pale. Okay, first one is tail, then pale, then a few more words. Side. Side. Next one is bean. Next one is here. The next word is heel. Heel. The next one is die. I hope you all are writing. Then next word, four. The next one is male. 8. And finally, seen. So these are a few words which I ask you to write it. I hope you have written it in your notebook or in a sheet of paper. Okay, so are you done with it? Okay, anyway, let's check the answers. So the tail, I skipped some of the words. See, when I said tail, which word you wrote it in your notebook? Either this first one or the second one. Tail. See, two words are here. Look at all these examples. Tail, cell, pale, tall, flow. And next one, heel, die, four, male, 8, seen. These are the words I asked you to write it. Some of you might have written the first word. Some others might have written the second word. But all these words, all these pair of words, they do have the same pronunciation, but different spelling and different meaning. So this combination of words is known, this pair of words is known as homophones. You know that. That also will be discussed later. Okay. You already know this is known as homophones. So this aspect sometimes create confusion when we are speaking or when we are listening this language of English. So this is one aspect. Okay, then side being here. So next worksheet, let's go for another activity. So follow the activities. The first activity is find out similar pairs and state the difficulty you have faced while writing the dictated words. So you have to find similar pairs. Like those words, you have to find a similar pairs of words. You can write it in your notebook, just an activity. And you also have to state If it is an interactive session, I could have asked you what are the difficulty you face while you writing the dictated words. Just answer these questions and please um, mark your difficulties or please comment your difficulties in the comment box. Those responses will be considered for your attendance. And the next question is just write down the following words in your notebook and pronounce loudly. Here I have written 4 words. You can see that. What are the words? Copy, kind, cold, queen. And if you want to write one more word, cat. Write these 5 words: copy, kind, cold, queen, and cat. So I have already pronounced these words. So my next question is, after you wrote these words, just pronounce it. And next my question is, are all words begin with same alphabet? These 5 words, including cat, are all these words begin with same alphabet? No. The first one begin with C, second begin with K, again this C, this one begin with Q. So let's take into consideration these 3 words: copy, kind, queen. C, K, Q. No, so your answer is no. All these words begin with different alphabets. But all words begin with the same sound. See, copy, K, kind, K, queen, K, K, K. You know that sound. I hope you all remember that sound, K. So, here, these 3 words, copy, kind, queen, though these 3 words begin with 3 different alphabets, but it uses the same sound. So, that is the inference. That is the point I would like to share with you with this 3 words. Okay. Then, now look at these following words. 3 words. And please pronounce it loudly. How will you pronounce this word? Psychology? No, it is pronounced as psychology. Here, though the first letter is P, this P is silent. It is pronounced as psychology. And this second word here, it is pronounced as palm, not palm. This L is silent. Here also, it is pronounced as tsunami, not just tsunami. The T is silent. So, but if you write T, T-E-A, in that word, the alphabet T is not silent. If I write pen, in that word, that alphabet P is pronounced, but in psychology it is not pronounced. So, in English language, we don't know. Sometimes we are confused with the pronunciation. So, if you want to know the right pronunciation, what will you do? Nowadays, you can use some online dictionaries, and where they will give you once you click that microphone button, they will where you can listen the exact pronunciation of the word. And sometimes we can also see, not sometimes, always we can see the phonetic transcription of the word. So the new we all might have experience. I have experienced it many times. Some words, some new words, which are not familiar to me, and I don't know the pronunciation. Immediately, I will refer a dictionary, and I will look into the phonetic transcription. Then only I could understand. Oh, this is the way in which I have to pronounce these words. So unless we know that phonetic sounds, it will be difficult for us to follow or understand the exact pronunciation. We will end up in a wrong pronunciation. So it will adversely affect our speaking skills. And this compare these 3 words: name, king, calm, pale, dumb, man. So why I ask you to compare these words and what you understand? See, in the first word, kneel, here though there is the alphabet K, it is silent. But here, in this word king, it's not silent. Here, the alphabet L is silent, but here it is not. Here, damn, the alphabet N is silent, but in the case of man, it is pronounced. So sometimes we don't know how to pronounce the word. So in that case, we have to refer dictionary. So what are the findings? What are your findings after going through these activities or after going through these examples? So the first thing, there is no one-to-one relation between the alphabet and its pronunciation. So, seeing an alphabet, we can conclude that this is the exact pronunciation of this word. For example, king and cat. See, king, cat. Here, both the alphabet K and C have the same pronunciation. But cat and cell, C-L-L and cat. So, cat. In the case of cat, the C is pronounced as K. But in the case of cell, the C alphabet is pronounced as the sound Z. So the difference are there. So there is no one-to-one relationship between the alphabet and its pronunciation. So the alphabet may be same, but the pronunciation may vary. So that difference we can see in English language. And a few alphabets are not pronounced. In the case of Neil, Neil, the first alphabet K is silent. So sometimes some alphabets are silent. So those letters are known as silent letters. So sorry, it's not a question, it's my typing error. So we can conclude that learning phonetic sounds will help us to know the correct pronunciation of the words and will help us to improve our speaking skills. So this is the conclusion that I would like to say. So the summary of today's class is the aims and objective of linguistics and phonetics. The first of all, I would like to share with you. Then, how words with similar alphabets have different pronunciation. Then, words with similar pronunciation have different spelling. And finally, we can conclude that phonetic sounds helps to improve one's speaking skill. Okay, so what I have to tell you is studying this paper, language and linguistics. Okay, so thank you for joining today's class. This is all about today's class. I hope you understand. So what I would like to tell you is studying this paper will help you to improve your language skills and finally, it will also help you to score good marks in your examination that will reflect your total score of your BA degree course. So, I wish you all the best. And as I said yesterday, um, you might have to go through different difficulties when you're studying this paper, but manage those difficulties, learn well and scored good marks, and I wish you all the best. Okay, thank you.